do a wanking podcast?
We should.
Me and you. And we invite people around to tell us where have they wanked.
Yes. Can you guess? Would we have one of those UV cameras so you can see like evidence and stuff afterwards?
No, you've gone too far. Oh, look who we've got on board. It's Caitlin Moran. How are you?
I am so good. I'm intent on charming this dog.
The dog doesn't like celebrities.
So I'll be fine.
Come on.
My level of fame will keep me very, very safe.
I was up in Scotland and she actually bit a bagpiper on the sporran. And I'm not testing out material for my stand-up tour. That genuinely did happen. And he was like, get off, like the instructors. I think she might have thought it was a puppy.
Well, if I always saw someone holding a bagpipe and making the bagpipe sound, I presume it was an animal that was dying and needed to be put out of its misery. And I, as a dog, would simply go and take it in my jaws and shake it till it dies.
Yeah. What if I was a squirrel?
Yeah, she was just being kind.
Oh,
go over the Rainbow Bridge. Over the Rainbow Bridge, bagpipes. Go towards the light.
Don't. Oh, I've had such a weekend.
Go on, tell me. You look a little flustered.
I am flustered, but then that's driving through London on a plane. I went to see Harry Styles. God, he's got great legs.
Oh.
They're so smooth. I'm going to say he's got better legs than Angela Rippon.
How near...
There, I've said it.
How near were you to the stage? Because I went to the Ivor Novello Awards a couple of weeks ago and I was at the table right at the front. I was like 10 feet away from him. He gave a very funny speech. He was giving Radiohead the Lifetime Achievement Award and he gave a brilliant speech where he was going, they're very important to me. I listened to Radiohead as I was losing my virginity. I listened to Radiohead in the first 5 seconds as I was losing my virginity. And I laughed really loudly but empathetically and cleverly in such a way that he would hear my laugh above everybody else's and think, she's got to be my friend. Like, I think everyone thinks that if they met Harry Styles, he would be their friend, right?
Yeah. He's super sweet. He came on Chatty Man, and then I remember being at Nick Grimshaw's Christmas parties. He always has these lovely parties. And I got a tap on the shoulder, turned around, and it was Harry. And I thought, how lovely, because he is stratospheric now. Oh. He doesn't need to speak to the likes of me. But he was so sweet, and he's such a... And everyone was saying about the stage, but I thought it was good the way he was running around. Everyone got a good view.
I think you are another person that everybody thinks they would be your friend when they meet you. So I think he was like, you could bond over that. He would go up to you and go...
I'm quite a bitch.
Yeah, but national treasure bitch. Like, that's built in. That's what we like. That's what we're going for. But yeah.
Okay, maybe
I also like Harry Styles. I think he's the biggest advert for, you know, there's all these kind of like wild conspiracy theories and propaganda on the internet at the moment that London is just falling to bits and it's a war zone and it's not safe and stuff. Yeah. All you need to do is look at Harry Styles' Instagram to realise that London is safe. He's riding around on lime bikes. He's swimming in the men's ponds. He ran to his gig at Wembley. He jogged there.
He ran that. I know that 2 hours. He ran that and then ran around that stage. He's superhuman and he sounds good. He sounded good.
Well, he was curating the Meltdown Festival and he went on and sang Bridge Over Troubled Waters, which any singer will tell you is a really hard song to do. You go over 2 octaves, there's a huge 15-pace note at the end of it, and he absolutely slammed it. Like,
you can't wheel Art Garfunkel out for the idols.
No, not anymore, not anymore. No, Art's retired. So Harry can do it all.
And then on Saturday, guess what? I went from Harry to Gary when I saw Take That. Oh, they were so good.
Oh, with the big elephant.
The big elephant. And do you know what? Everyone took the piss when they're doing Pray, you know.
Yeah.
As my dad would say, I've seen milk turn quicker. But when they spin round and pray, but everyone was going, go for it. Go for it. All the dance moves, you know. They were so good.
Who's your favourite member of Take That?
Well, I do like Gary Barlow.
You love a bit of Barlow?
I do love a bit of Barlow, and he's super sweet, and he got me lovely tickets. And Mark is aging like a fine wine.
I saw Mark do one of the most noble things I've ever seen. So it was backstage at Glastonbury about 15 years ago. It was a very muddy year. He'd come in a very modest and small Winnebago with a load of friends. And on the last day of the festival, if you've got one of the small Winnebagos, there's basically like a box of poo that everyone's pooed into during that festival. And he, at 7 o'clock in the morning, went out and took out the box of the communal poo, his and everybody else's, and went and emptied it just so nobly. I was like, you're Mark Owen from Take That. Surely you have, like, you know, there are servants, there are minions. Yeah, there are helpers, but no, he emptied everyone's poo out so nobly in the rain at 7:30 in the morning.
I love him even more now.
What a gentleman, yeah.
You're in the know. Where's Jason Orange? Because I'm obsessed with, like I'm with Katie Price's husband / boyfriend.
Oh, can we do...
Where's
okay, can we just do 2 hours on Katie
now.
Price's lying husband?
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
the new hairline.
Where do you get that hairline? Do you reckon
not in jail, which is where he claimed he was. He was
Yes.
kidnapped to get a hair transplant, seems to be the piecing together of the two narratives we've got. He was like, I was kidnapped by men and roughed up on the border, and then 2 days later he comes back with new hair. It's like, what clinic is that you're going to in Turkey?
I know. I didn't know they had like a salon in Broadmoor or something.
They forcibly give you new hair. Right, what's
It's a
that?
Tonian guy in Broadmoor. No, what? Wow, yes, I was obsessed with that. And I love the way, listen, a lot of love for Katie Price. I love the way she was still hustling.
Yes.
Did you see that? Oh, I'm so stressed. Where's my husband? I need my CBD oil, which
Yes.
you can get. Just mention KT40 for 40% off. I went, good for you. Good for you, girl.
It's elegant. Always get you grifted in the middle of trauma and chaos, not knowing where your husband is.
Get that CBD
Get that
oil.
hashtag spawn, hashtag ad. Never forget hashtag spawn, hashtag ad. No, I do not know where Jason Orange is. It's like the Sasquatch, isn't it?
Because you know everyone, because they, you know.
Pretty much. But yeah, I do not know where Jason Orange is. And sadly, oranges are the only fruit I don't know the location of. Literally no idea.
Oh, I wonder where he is. I wonder if he's had like a face transplant and gone really undercover.
Yeah. Another country, different name. Jason Apple.
Jason
Jason
Satsuma.
Banana. Yeah.
No,
Jason
you'd want to be
Nectarine.
found if you changed your surname to Satsuma.
Yeah, that's a cry for help, isn't it? Yeah, no. Well, good on him.
And John Bishop was in the box as well, watching Take That, and we reminded for comic relief, we did Take That, and the worst bit of casting ever, I was Mark Owen.
Mark Owen.
He's about the size of my leg. What? The worst bit of casting ever.
Yeah, but they obviously saw something in you. They were like, inside you, there's a Mark Owen trying to
Cheeky
get out.
chappy
Yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly. Yeah, you can do that.
Well, listen, I could literally talk about Take That forever, but we've got to talk about you, and we've got to talk about holidays as well.
Yes.
Before we talk about outsiding, let's get on with holidays. What's your first holiday memory?
So we didn't have holidays as children. We were
Because I thought this might come up because your dad was worried about the apocalypse.
very worried about the apocalypse. So so to set the scene, it's Wolverhampton. It's a council estate. There are 8 of us.
Is the Manda Centre still there in Wolverhampton?
I think it is, yes. Although we've lost the biggest Argos in Europe, which used to be our
No!
big, yeah.
Give them a break.
I know, we've lost so much. We're on our knees now. The 2 big things that we had in Wolvo, we had the biggest Argos in Europe, and we have a statue that's called the Man on His Oss. It's a man on a horse, and we found out later it's a statue of Prince Albert. And apparently, the first time Queen Victoria came out of mourning after Prince Albert died was to unveil this very beautiful statue of him. And it's such a Wolverhampton story. At the moment it was unveiled, the sculptor was there, and he realised that he had carved the horse incorrectly. He put the hooves in like a kind of anatomically incorrect position, and apparently he was so overcome with shame when he realised he'd done a wrong horse that he went away and killed himself. And that's such a Wolvo story.
So depressing.
We think we've got a big moment, and then it's like, oh no, I've done the horse wrong. I've drawn it like a child. Oh, I've done a wrong horse. So there are 2 big landmarks. We lost one. We lost the Argos, but we still got the Man on His Oss.
Well, I'm from Northampton, and we fell out with Milton Keynes because they got the big IKEA.
Oh, that's a body blow, right?
We can forgive, but we can't forget.
No,
That's why we have the rivalry with Milton Keynes.
No
'cause they
local
got the
meatballs for
IKEA.
you. You've got to travel for those.
Got to go across
Yeah.
the M1 to get to fucking Milton Keynes.
Mate. So yeah, we're in Wolverhampton, and in 1986, my parents who are hippies, my father used to be in a band. They're like proper like alternative people. They decided that they're going to teach us all at home. We're not going to go to school anymore. So we're all home educated. Theoretically, that would mean that we should be having lessons, but we have absolutely 0 lessons. We just sit and watch telly for like 5 years eating cheese. We all put on about 5 stone. We're all word perfect on every Bugs Bunny Daffy Duck movie ever made. Like, kind of like, we're just watching the big musicals at the time. Like, kind of, that's what we do. And then my mum borrows some money from my grandma, and they buy a caravan in the mountains in Wales. And it's not, you get these luxury caravans now that are kind of like huge, and they've got, sort of like jacuzzi and all this kind of stuff. This was just a tin. It didn't even have a toilet. And it was on a car park in the mountains in Wales. And we would be there from March until October every year. So that theoretically was our holiday every year.
Yeah.
But it was more of a migration. We would simply live there. And the reason that we had that caravan is my father was very convinced that sometime soon the Russians would drop the bomb, and that we would simply have to survive and start civilization from scratch again in a caravan in Wales. So there was a fraught edge. There was a kind of survival
That's
tactic
not a
to the whole
relaxing
thing.
holiday,
It wasn't
is it?
relaxing. No, it was. So there'd be 8 kids on this council estate, and my dad would do things. Drive to like there's a beautiful beach called Innisglus that's owned by the National Trust, and it's just a huge estuary, and it's an amazing place for wading birds, and you see whales there and stuff. It's absolutely beautiful. But our dad would walk when the tide went out. We'd walk right to the very edge of the sandbar at the very edge that sort of the tide goes out about 5 miles. We'd stand at this sandbar at the very edge of it, and he'd go, there are places in the world where the tide comes back in so quickly that it would outrun a galloping horse, and if the tide turned here now, you'd all be dead. You'd all just be dead. So let's run. And then we'd all have to practice running back to dry land as quickly as we could. So it was more of a sort of SAS, are you tough enough vibe, rather than going to Marbella, which I believe other people were probably doing at the time. Yeah.
Have you ever had one of those slaggy holidays, though? Have you ever gone away with the girls and, oh no, I forgot to pack my morals?
Oh, most of my girlfriends are nerds, so the nearest we got to that is I went to Cornwall with National Treasure Lauren Laverne and my friend Sally Hughes is a journalist and the children's author Nadia Shireen. And for some reason, the one big thing we did on this holiday in Cornwall was we visited a salt factory and we walked around and we tasted different samples of salt. And the guy who ran it was very passionate about salt, and he was like, "You'll be able to taste the difference between this salt is a sweeter salt. This salt is like a more savoury salt. You'll get more of a kind of allium edge to this." And we were just eating this salt, just going, "Oh, just taste the salt. Now I'm really thirsty. So dry. My mouth is so dry." They were in a cab for 2 hours on the way back. Just going, "My mouth is so dry. I've eaten a pound of salt." It was not a meal at all.
So what's the gift shop then? Is it just salt?
It's salt. Yeah, salt. Different kinds of salt. Salt in a bag for a bath. Salt in a grinder for your table.
Salt in a pencil, maybe like one of those things.
Just salt. Holiday salt, work salt, just salt.
Oh my God, that reminds me. Is it the Gin Museum in Plymouth? Wow, that's a good gift shop.
Go on.
You really don't remember leaving that gift shop.
I can imagine.
So you weren't a slag in the salt shop then?
No, I went to Magaluf once by accident because there was a literary festival there, and which was weird in itself. I was just like, I'll go to the literary festival in Magaluf, and did mine when they talked about hardcore feminism for 3 hours, and then walked around Magaluf at 3 o'clock in the morning going, "Oh, this is what I should have been doing when I was younger. I understand. Okay, I really did miss out on a vital part of British culture." The great thing about going to a place like that is the kind of t-shirts that they sell. So they'll have things like "I love pussy," and if a man wears it, obviously it's a sexist, misogynist, sort of objectifying piece of t-shirt. But when a woman's wearing it, suddenly it's like a really big sort of statement for feminist power. Exactly this. So I went round and bought up all the misogynist t-shirts, and all my friends have now got "I love pussy" t-shirts.
When I went to America, went to this place. Oh, was it up near Orlando? Was it Daytona Beach? And me and my brother went in, and they've got all that MAGA stuff. And I just had to buy like a hat, and then I've got ADHD, a damn hard dick, and I was like, me and my brother were pissing us, and we handed it over, and then we're looking at the man going, "Look." No, because people just generally think ADHD is having a damn hard dick.
Similarly, I bought a t-shirt that said "I'm into BDSM, beautiful dogs smiling at me," and it's just covered in pictures of Labradors. Yeah. I was just like, I am into BDSM, beautiful dogs smiling at me. It's one of my favourite t-shirts.
Tell us a country that you've been surprised at. It can be a negative surprise. It can be an uplifting surprise.
Well, Japan is like I think Japan is one of those places that when you go to it, you just bore people about it afterwards. You're like, "Please allow me to show you all my pictures of Japan. Please allow me to bore you with the tasteful, elegant, the historical holiday that I've been on." We went to Japan with the kids, and that was amazing. We went with an amazing travel company, and they took us through a tour of history of Japan. So we started off in a medieval village in houses that were made of with paper walls, with the sliding doors, next to a waterfall in the middle of nowhere. And then 2 days later, they took us to a city from the 17th century that was all made of wood with these little canals with fish in it. It's also alive and so abundant. And then you'd go into these inns, and on the table in the middle of it, they'd have a little bonfire basically, and they'd bring fish out on sticks, and you'd cook the fish over the bonfire in the middle of the table.
Oh wow!
And it all just feels like you're in another. It's quite sort of Star Warsy. It's like you've sort of gone to a planet on the edge of the universe.
So would you say to people, because I've been there, it was such a short visit, and I really didn't do half the things I wanted to do, but Tokyo, because it got so bombed, you really need to go out, don't you, if you want to see old
the history,
Japan.
Yes. There's a couple of old temples there as well, which are amazing, and that's very. And I love the Shinto Buddhism ethic. It's about, because you see those, there's those big famous red arches everywhere, and there's sort of a big thing in Japanese architecture, and I didn't know what they were. And the idea of them is really simple and beautiful. It's that when you stand on the other side of the arch and look through it, it just frames a view that's particularly beautiful, and that's the whole point of that religion. It's like, have a look at this beautiful thing. Like, that's the religion, that's the practice. And similarly, if you see a tree that's got like a ribbon or a piece of rope tied around it, it's just like, that's a very beautiful tree. Why not stand here for a moment and appreciate how beautiful this tree is? And I was like, that's such a different ethic to our country, where if we've got something beautiful, we tend to knock it down. Do you know what? Leave rubbish around it.
I want to put a ribbon round Harry Styles.
We should. A big red arch.
One of his legs.
Yes.
Stop and admire. You see, I'm at that age. I was 50, and I'm realising now I can't say shit like this because I'm just a creepy old man now.
Well, that's one of the other really difficult things.
Thanks for denying it.
Well, no.
You just carried on.
I'm saying.
Yes, well.
I'm saying something to comfort you. As someone who is 51, I similarly cannot tell if someone is beautiful or just young. Like, all beautiful people all young people just look beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my God. And you talk to their friends, like, no, she's the ugly one. And you're like, no, but her skin glows.
She's the ugly one.
Yeah, her knees don't crack.
That's my ugly friend. Yeah.
Like, kind of like it's just youth is beautiful. You realise that when you get older. And you realise that all the time you spent feeling insecure when you were young, everything that everyone said, you appreciate it while you're young, you're really beautiful. They were really right.
I look back and I go, I weren't that bad.
No.
I weren't that bad.
No, I mean, I think
Now
that's a
I
very
am,
British
but
statement.
I wasn't that
You could
bad.
do better than not that bad. Like, you were beautiful. You would have been beautiful because you would have been young. We were all beautiful when we were young.
Could I have someone in Japan put a ribbon around me?
Little frame around you.
Next, was it XXL? Elasticated ribbon around my waist. I went in Urban Outfitters the other day and just had to come out. It's too young.
Oh, no.
It's too young.
No, and they're inventing new kinds of clothes, like things that have just got like one arm, or like kind of like,
I know, yeah.
It could be a skirt or a scarf or something. You're like, I don't understand the functionality of this item. Like, I need using
That's what
instructions.
pisses me off about youth, because they can wear those fleeces and they look cool.
Yeah.
I look like a paedophile.
Yep. It's true. Well, we have to become elegant at our age, don't we? Or like kind of sassy and outrageous. Those are our two options.
Yes,
You either go jolly.
Yes.
And I think jolly is underrated as a dressing thing. When my daughters were teenage, right?
Jolly.
Yeah. When my daughters were young, and they'd just go, "Do I look sexy in this? Do I look hot in this?" I'd go, "No." I think the two really important things for you to think about are you comfortable and do you look jolly? Do you look like you're having a nice life, and are you comfortable? Can you run away from a murderer in this or dance in it? Those are the only two criteria you need to dress by. And for years, they were like, no, I just want to look hot. I just really want to look hot. I just really want to look deeply sexual and hot. But now they're in their 20s and they're like, yeah, I am comfortable and I am jolly. And that's all you need. Clean, comfortable and jolly.
Perfect. I mean, I might get that as a tattoo.
Yeah, right. That's all you need to live by.
So tell us about Outsiding.
Yes.
It's a podcast. I tried to look at it. It's not
not out yet, no.
No, because I was in the car and I was thinking I could listen to it, but I couldn't. So when is it out?
It's out on Thursday. We've got a big launch. We've got the big screen up in Leicester Square that'll be showing our first episode with National Treasure Bob Mortimer as our first guest, which
him.
was our...
Did you see my last one laughing?
Oh, nearly killed me on the... Shh, it's just magic. It's just magic.
I felt so bad during that show because he would just come with the laptop and everyone would just run away.
Yes.
Piss off, Bob. It's so horrible when you look back because he's so loved. But I was like, no, ma'am. No, go away.
It was the moment where you saw any kind of showbiz professionalism crumble because everybody else, as they walk in, everyone's like, hey, haven't seen you for a while. Bob turns up and everyone's like, shit. We are fucked. Literally, all the comedians are like, okay, I got no game against this guy. I got no game against Bob Mortimer. I'm doomed. So he was just kind of quite isolated often, wasn't he? People would he'd come over to chat to someone. They'd literally stand up and go, no, and walk away from him.
Go away, yeah. God, him and Diane Morgan. Oh, my God.
Oh, she's a queen, isn't she?
Oh, my God, my neck muscle just like, fuck off, proof.
She's got such an icy glare, hasn't she? She's just psyching you out all the time. She knows what she's doing. She's like, in the war, she would have been an amazing spy.
Yes.
A really unlikely, admittedly, but incredible spy. Like, she's in complete control of every situation. It's amazing. So he turned up at my house, which is amazing. And because he was our first guest, I'm getting more relaxed now because we've done our fourth. But the first one, the night before, I cleaned every single bottle in my cupboard. I went in the freezer and cleaned out all the peas. I was like, on the off chance that Bob looks in my freezer or looks in my drawers, I want him to know how honoured I am that he is here. And I cleaned the whole place top to bottom. But so it's basically it's a podcast about. So first of all, it's a podcast in the modern sense in that we've got a crew of about 45 people who turn up at my house and shit everything. They've got drones. The drone operator I immediately made friends with because I am obsessed with gardening. That's why I'm doing the gardening podcast. And for the last 20 years, I've wanted to know what my neighbours' gardens look like. And I've peered out the window as much as I can. I've been up on the roof, but I can't see them all. So as soon as the drone operator turned up, I was like, here's 50 quid. Can you just fly down the street and film all my neighbours' gardens and then just show me the footage? I want to see what's thriving in their gardens. Can they make hostas work? Have they got water features? I want to know.
What did you see?
Well, he wouldn't do it. It was like, I haven't got a licence for
privacy,
that.
I suppose. There's me, look at me.
No.
Or
See, you'd have
ethics
been
go
that.
out the window.
Exactly.
So tell
See?
me everything.
You get me,
of
right?
Of course, you can't do that because ethically it's wrong, you idiot. God.
Obviously, I'm saying that on air. Of course, he did take my money, and I have seen them all, but we're pretending that I didn't. Yes, of course, 100%. So, I've been obsessed with gardening for the last 20 years. Have you seen that Netflix
documentary where the woman had the drone and then the man was burying the wife? Have you seen that?
Really?
Yeah. And so I know we don't misuse drones, but if this woman hadn't sent the drone over and saw the grave being dug,
sometimes it's useful, right?
Yes.
Right.
She's like Angela Lansbury and what's he called, Jessica Fletcher.
Yeah.
She was like, where's the wife? And then the thing's pinging over, and she kept seeing.
There's a public interest. Okay, when the drone operator turns up next time, I'll be like, "There's a public interest. We just need to solve the
So you're looking
crime."
for Jason Orange.
Exactly. Yes.
He might be in one of these gardens. Please check your sheds.
Yes. Like when a cat gets lost. Pictures of Jason Orange all down the street. Have you seen Orange? He is friendly. Tempt him out with nibbles and dreamies. Yes. So yes, I've been obsessed with gardening for 20 years. So when they asked me if I wanted to do a podcast, and the idea is that every week, it's kind of like basically the after show for gardening. Like you've got gardening shows on TV and they just show you how to do stuff. But this is like the after show where you gossip about the gardening. You're kind of like, what have you killed? What are you... Because on a gardening show, no one talks about what they kill.
No
one talks about the failures. No one talks about the sort of deep spiritual thing you often have in a garden, where I cut down a clematis in February that was huge but needed to be taken down, and I sobbed while I was doing it. I was like, I'm so sorry, mate. Like, you've just been growing, you've just been doing what you're supposed to do, and who am I to cut you down? Who am I to do this? I'm so sorry.
God.
So it's all that kind of deep stuff that if you were,
love these plants.
if you're a gardening nut, you need to have other people who can go, yeah, I know what you mean, rather than as you are looking quite scared. Yeah. Well, you've got a gardener. We saw your gardener. He had to let us in.
I know.
We got to Alan's house early and there was a gardener outside.
I mean,
just zhuzhing the outdoors. He had to let us in.
It's so funny because you go, oh, Alan, look at you with your gardener. How small is the garden? You're telling me I can't go out there.
Right.
It's basically 2 hanging baskets and the size of that coffee table. I'm so shit.
Yeah.
Someone still has to come round. Well, I don't know how they work, plants.
He was sweeping your front doorstep very beautifully, and that's an
Because
important
he needs
thing.
more work.
Yes.
I'm going to have a word. Just out of, was he look like he was working hard?
He did. Yeah, he was picking up some really big pots, and I was like, watch your lower back. And then he very haughtily told me that he does a lot of yoga and I shouldn't be concerned for his lower back.
Oh, okay.
And I had to explain to him
So-
I was just projecting over my issues with my lower back.
So he's got quite a surly attitude as well as
I think
work
capable.
shy.
No, capable. He was letting me know he could do the job.
I'm joking.
And I needed to report back to you that he was
I'm
very
joking.
good at
He
his
is a
job.
lifesaver. My God, no. I'm sounding like a right arsehole.
No, he spoke of you with love in his eyes. It was fine.
He's so sweet. Bless
Yes.
him.
So yeah. So this is the kind of conversation that we have with our guests, just kind of like, do you have a gardener? Would you keep it a secret from your friends? What do you kill? Like, kind of what are you passionate about? Have you got into the point where, I remember reading when I first started getting into gardening, that when you get into gardening, at first you're into flowers, then you get into leaves, you go a level deeper, you get into sort of how beautiful the leaves are, and then you get into the underside of leaves, like you get really kind of almost kinky with it. But then there's a deeper level to that where you start getting into soil and worms. You start saying to people, how many worms have you got? What's your biome like? Do you make your own compost? Is it like black gold?
Oh,
Is it
right.
friable? Can you hold it in your hands and sniff it and smell the earth and
So
the life?
so the flowers bit's like the internet, but you go sort of dark webby.
Yes, dark web, yes. And it is a web because there's the microcellic web, which is a microcellic web of
Tell me
fungus
about it.
that unites everything.
Yeah, hello? Who doesn't know that? Where's that book about? Oh, because I know you like to look at people's bookshelves.
Oh, yes.
don't
Oh,
you?
yeah.
What are you getting from my...
Well,
Don't say psychopath.
No, first of all, you've got half of everything you've got here. I've got I've just finished reading the Richard Burton diaries for the second time, so I'm
Oh,
adapting.
how sad is it at the end? Pissed.
Did you
Pissed.
cry?
Yeah, so sad.
But did you not think by the end
Sounds
of
like I'm
it,
reading my own diary.
the Alan Carr diaries, pissed.
What about Rex Harrison's wife?
She's a live wire.
You know when they say, "Oh, who would you have at a dinner party?" You'd have to have her.
Oh, 100. So every other entry in the Richard Burton diaries is Rex Harrison's wife. I can't remember what her name is. Turns up again.
Rachel someone.
She's
Yeah.
lying on the floor with her vagina revealed to the entire yacht. At some point, like, isn't there some emperor comes over or king, and he's just kind of like, someone really famous comes over and is just like,
It was invented. He goes, "Oh, fucking hell! Liz has invited Rex and that awful drunk woman over again." I mean, for him to
From
call
Burton,
her,
right.
Burton to call her drunk,
Right.
And then I'm like, "Oh, I can't turn in the page to see the next day entry." Oh, she took all her clothes off and wanked off a basset hound.
she literally does that. She
Yes.
does do something really wrong with a dog.
Yes.
You're not even making it up.
No, wanked off a basset.
I know.
Oh, look, no, it's all right, George. It's not you.
It
we're
won't
doing.
happen to you. You're fine. No, they are amazing diaries.
on the dog's side.
By the end of it, you do feel you are friends with Richard Burton and you're so sad when he dies. And it's also the madness of Taylor and Burton's life is incredible. So the reason that I'm reading it is that I'm adapting Elizabeth Taylor's life for screen, which is...
Oh my God! Have you
One
read
of-
Erotic Vacancy?
Yes,
Oh
that's-
my God, that's such a good
Yes.
book. She's no, they didn't pay any tax.
I know, but they...
I'd have a massive fucking diamond.
Well, of course, exactly. Buy
you got
diamonds every
that
day.
book?
I do. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
Around the World in 80 Trees.
It is so interesting, and that someone got it to me.
I noticed you haven't read it.
I have just...
The spine is not cracked. You just absorbed that by osmosis, did you? Yeah.
Look. Look there.
You're a careful reader. Okay.
Yeah.
You take more care of your books than I do. Mine are all swollen from the bath.
I've read it. You haven't even opened yours.
So, I know, yes.
But look, it's called Jonathan Drury, Around the World in 80 Trees. But I like reading about it. I don't actually like getting my fingers dirty and stuff. But this one, the fig, you get female figs and male figs, and then they shag each other.
And
I didn't know this, did you?
And they will grow in any conditions. So, like, if you've just got a terrible bit of soil, if you want to stick a tree in it, stick a fig in there. Trees, once you start getting into them, so the oak tree. So when Bob Mortimer came on, we were asked, one of our questions is, what's your favourite tree? People get nerdy about that. He loves the oak. And the oak is amazing. So the whole reason that Britain is the country that it is all down to the fact that we grow the biggest oaks in the world because of our climate, which allowed us to, use the wood from the oak trees to make our boats, which meant that we were the ones that had the first, most dominant navy, and then went off and conquered the world and got our empire. But also on the oak, there's a wasp that lays its eggs on there in these thing called wasp galls, which is like these little brown, like kind of little balls on the tree that are like a parasitic kind of nest. And if you crush those, they make ink. And that is how Shakespeare made the ink to write all of his sonnets and plays. So within the oak tree, you have the wood that built the empire because of our trees, and the ink that made us the culturally sort of soft power that we are today, all from one tree.
Oh my God, that's fascinating.
Isn't it? I know. Once you start getting into it, you start realising, because like we are, so much of what we are as any country is what our countryside is. And I often think when people are talking about patriotism, like, who's allowed to be in this country and what are we as a country and what is our future and how do we feel about the empire and stuff. I think the only kind of non-problematic patriotism that you can have about your country, and I do love this country, is about our countryside.
Yeah.
Like that's not problematic. Like kind of like, you're not excluding anyone from that. We live in a very beautiful country. We've got so many different kinds of geology. So many, the variants, if you're an American and you drive for 9 hours through most states, it just looks the same for 9 hours. Here in 9 hours, you drive from Cornwall to John O'Groats and you would just see 50 different kinds of scenery. We're a very beautiful little island.
Was you a little bit upset when that tree in Nottingham?
The sycamore, the sycamore gap got chopped down.
No, not that one.
Another one?
The one that Robin Hood allegedly. Is he allegedly?
Well, I think he is dead. What?
I don't want to... If you sue me, Robin. It's in the story. The oak, 1,000-year-old oak, is dead.
Did we kill it or did it just keel over of its own accord?
Well, they're saying because of the hot summers have killed it. But then someone did say in the comment section, at least when it's dead, it still gives, doesn't it?
Well, they say...
And I'm sure you're going to tell me about this.
Yes, well, 300 years to grow, 300 years to live, and 300 years to die. And one of the things that we do wrong is when
I've had hangovers like that.
Oh, God, I'm still on one now. This weekend was large. But what we do wrong, we do loads of things wrong, and it's just that we're just too busy. Like, one of the things I learned about gardening is the less you do, the better your garden is. So, like, if a branch falls off a tree, particularly in the hot weather, a lot of branches are falling off trees at the moment, we would usually clear that away. If you just leave it underneath the tree that it fell off, the tree will eat itself, and that will feed itself. But if you clear away that branch, it can't feed itself. And also, if you leave a dead branch underneath the tree...
They're like aliens, aren't they, trees?
Literally, they are a different... they were here before us, and we only exist because of them. There's a brilliant book called it's either called The Under or The Over Story, which won the Pulitzer Prize, which tells the story. It's very like this. This is Around the World in 80 Trees. This tells the story of the last 300 years of human history through the stories of 8 trees and the people who like them the most. It's a novel, but it's absolutely incredible.
Oh, I'm going to
And
get
it
that.
just talks about, and it's just talking about, because we're only alive for like at tops 100 years, our idea of what happens in that 100 years is like we're really quick. Trees are around for 1,000 years. So in America, if you watch footage of 1,000 years, the trees are marching slowly up towards the Arctic. They're literally migrating. They sort of send their roots underneath the ground, and they're slowly popping up further and further north and retreating from the south because of global warming. And if you speeded it up, it would be like in a day, all the trees just got up and marched towards the Arctic, right? Isn't that exciting? The trees have got, and they have mother trees that will feed. They send out, so if any tree is attacked by insects, they will send out through the root and mycelic network underneath. They will alert all the other trees that they're being attacked by insects, and suddenly the trees will produce a poison in their leaves that's very bitter that will kill all the insects. Do you grow cannabis
in your garden? I'm just asking. And do you get high on your own supply?
And here's another thing to blow your mind.
Hey,
one more for the heads.
Alien trees taking over the world, man.
Well, my dad, as a hippie, had partaken of many things during the 60s.
imagine.
And then in the 90s, he got cut off from his supplies. But he'd read somewhere that if you take a coleus plant, which is like a sort of indoor plant that you'll see everywhere, if you grow them outside and crush up a certain kind of arthritis medicine and spray them with it, it will make them very potent and you'll get very, very high. So I went to his house once and he was like, right, we're reaping this today. We're going to crop this. I've grown it. We're going to go for it. And he cut all the leaves off the plant. And then we were driving to Wales to visit the caravan and he just put them all on the back seat of the car. And he was like, it'll be hot enough for them to dry out and they'll be smokable by the time we get to Wales. So we drive all the way from Wolverhampton to Wales with this like back seat covered in leaves. We get there. The sun has not dried out the leaves to the consistency of tea by the time we get there. But we still dutifully roll them up and smoke them around a campfire. And absolutely nothing happens. Any cosmonauts out there want to know if you can get high on a coleus? You cannot get high on a coleus. That is, do not go down to the garden centre this weekend and think you're going to get high. It's not going to happen.
Oh wow, that's great! I love that.
Yeah.
So this podcast, it's if you want a good gossip, good chat, want to learn something, it's not. It's obviously gardening is the hook, but it's just good company and good chat with great fun people.
So it's the sister podcast of, do you know Dish with Nick Grimshaw and Angela Hartnett?
Yes.
So we're the sister podcast of that. So ostensibly everybody's on to talk about food, but it immediately just turns into a gossipy thing.
Yeah.
So with us, it's people talking about people talking about their childhood gardens. As soon as someone describes their childhood garden, you understand where they grew up, and then other gardens they've been to that they're jealous of, like kind of what they do in the garden, how they would design a garden, and then on our second episode, we had Kerry Godliman from Afterlife on, who's a darling. But that episode was really interesting because she only has two celebrity crushes. One is Colin Firth, particularly as Mr. Darcy, who she did meet once and farted in front of apparently. So that was nixed. So her other celebrity crush that she was really putting everything onto is Adam Frost from Gardener's World, who is my co-presenter on Outsiding. So Kerry turning up at my house and just on the doorstep going, is he here? Like, am I dressed okay? Like, kind of like, is it going to be all right? Like, where is he? We like hid him in the greenhouse and he popped out. And she just didn't know what to do with herself. It was amazing.
Me and Kerry had the weirdest gig ever. We were playing, and Portugal had beaten England, and the town we were doing the gig at, they burnt down the Nando's.
Well, they really were peeved.
So every time I see her, I go, do you remember the Nando's gate? Yeah, why would you do that? Anyway, so just out of interest, what is your favourite garden? What kind of are you into rewilding? Because I was thinking maybe I might rewild my front.
I mean, it's very...
Drop a log.
Yeah.
Drop a log. No, that came out wrong.
Well, when you said you were rewilding your front, I was like, you're going to stop manscaping and just go
a long
full
time
far.
ago,
Yeah.
love, down there, fucking manscaping. Get me strimmer out.
Well, my favourite garden is
When
garden.
I said drop to log, I didn't mean do a shit.
No. Drop a log and let it rot, and then the insects will thrive off it, and it'll be a beautiful nature haven in your front garden. That was what you meant.
Because have you been to Nep Estate?
So we talk about this a lot, and in my new book, because I went through a massive menopause-induced nervous breakdown about 5 years ago, and part of it was about how terrible the environment is. We know everything's dying, and if you sit in your own garden, one summer I saw one butterfly and one bird all summer, and I was like, and so at that point I thought my only chance was to do what my dad had always said and buy a farm in the mountains of Wales and be self-sufficient. And it got to the point where I literally put a deposit on a forge so I could make my own iron-working tools because I was so convinced that the end of civilization would come. This is what happens when you have the menopause. Honestly, Alan, it's you go crackers.
You buy a forge.
Yes, literally this. You're like, civilization will crumble, and I, as a capable
that should become one of those phrases. Yes, she's bought a forge.
Yeah, she's forging.
She's forging.
She's forging. She's forging. She's making a rake. Making a rake. Quick, get HRT on this woman now. So I told this plan to my friends after I put a deposit on this house, and my friend literally peeled off her HRT patch and slapped it on my face and went, let's see how you feel in 3 weeks' time. And I did feel a lot more sane, but I was still really sad about the lack of nature. And I was like, what? And I was, you spend 10 years going, what will the government do? The government should be doing something about this. What about the government? Someone should do something about this. And then I went to the Rewilding project at NEP as part of my job at the Times. I'm a journalist there. And that blew my mind because everything you ever hear about the environment is getting worse. Here's another thing that's endangered. Here's another thing that's died. You go there and the story is everything's getting better every year. So they've now got storks nesting there for the first time since 1552.
Do you know how I know about this? Because I live in Sussex.
Ooh.
And it was like one of those films from the 80s, like Police Academy. I'm having a glass of wine outside, and I thought it was a pterodactyl flew
Right.
over because the shadow, and I looked at my wine glass, looked at the bird, looked back, and like, I must stop drinking, like that. And the shadow, it was, because you get stalks, but these were just like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
And then I said to my friend, I said, I think I'm going crazy. And he went, well, Nep is just round the corner, and that's where the rewilding is.
You've got stalk overspill. That's what's happening.
Yes.
Well, you're right that.
And I went there, the
dinosaurs-
beavers, they've reintroduced beavers. All the trees are like pencils.
Like in a cartoon.
Yes!
Literally, I know. Yeah, they literally look like fans. They're amazing. And they do, because I thought that they told me an amazing story there. So the reason that beavers build their dams is because the only way they can escape from predators is to dive down into deep water. So they always need to be making a deep water pool, which is why they make the dams. They dam a stream so they can be safe from predators. During COVID, they had to take one of their beavers and put it in a barn to isolate it because of, I don't know, beavers get COVID. And they left it there for the weekend. When they came back, there'd been a dripping tap in the corner of the barn, and the beaver had instinctively built a dam around this dripping tap because their instinct is if they hear running water, it drives them mad, and they have to dam it and make themselves a safe little pond. I felt so sorry for that bit. I mean, I feel like I've done jobs that are the same. It's just like, I'm like, yeah, just build a whole dam around a dripping tap. But yeah, they are magic
We need
beavers.
to respect these animals more.
Well, they are so smart. When you see a beaver's dam, and you can see them online, and you can go to Nep and see them, but they're massive. I thought it was going to be like the size of a rabbit hutch or something. Like, it's a whole island with trees growing out of it, and like without opposable thumbs. Like, they're like architects that are building islands with their faces and teeth.
Yeah.
Like, so much respect to the beaver. Like, kind of like, they are busy. I mean, you can see why busy as a beaver is a phrase. They are really busy.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? It is amazing, nature and stuff.
So the rewilding that I learned at Net, they just were like, because it hadn't occurred to me, because I'd been going on Amazon and going, can I buy sparrows? Can I buy butterflies on Amazon? You can't. I'll tell you now. And it was when I went to Net, when I came back from there, I was like, oh no, you can't buy nature, but you just build a nature place.
Yeah.
And then they come.
Nature will come.
Yeah, if you build the right place, and what they need is like they just need loads of bushes. They need like a little Manhattan of bushes to hide in, and they need a pond, and like there's certain plants that they like. And if you just do that to your garden, it turns up, and it's different. I've got a average garden in North London. As I say, the year before, 2 butterflies and a single bird. Now I've got a list of over 150 species that I've seen in there. All the dragonflies, fat-bodied chasers, which are like fatter dragonflies that were played by Jonah Hill in a movie. All these birds, including on the best day of my life, a peregrine falcon came down into my pond and washed its big talons in my pond.
Wow.
Right. I'm like 10 minutes away from Waitrose, and I've got a peregrine falcon. Like, and that's if you just make the nature place, the nature will come.
Yeah.
And it's everyone goes about mental health, but it's so good for your mental health.
Of course.
Particularly if you're ADHD. If you're ADHD, it's that you've got a lack of serotonin. Like, you kind of find it harder to be happier. You need to have things that trigger serotonin. There's nothing that will trigger your serotonin quicker than having just a bird just fly across your garden. It just goes, boom, you're happy. You're just like, oh, that's a little present. That turned up for me. Like, kind of, it's so that's it's one of the things we talk about a lot on the podcast. Just everybody at some point goes, gardening came to me when I felt bad, and it was the only thing that made me feel better. You can control a little bit of paradise. You invite all these guests in, and they make you happy.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
lovely.
it's heartwarming, isn't it? Yeah, that's why we love the garden, man.
So can we go back to this Liz Taylor thing that you're writing?
Yes.
That sounds pretty amazing. Is there anything you can say about it? Well, what is it? Is it a film or
It'll be
book?
for TV, and it's quite conceptual. Because if you look at Elizabeth Taylor's life, I was getting very drunk with the producer who's wanted to work with me for years. He's the guy who does Rivals, which obviously we all love Jilly Cooper's Rivals. And he was just like, should we work on something? We both brought the Elizabeth Taylor book out of our bags at the same time. And I went into this huge rant going, whenever I'm writing about women, I can't find a woman who is a shorthand for being happy and successful. Like, kind of, you can think of it, men, Michael Palin and David Attenborough, people who are respected and have brilliant lives and didn't suffer, like, kind of, and had amazing lives and stuff. But I can't think of a shorthand for a woman who, even though she was up against loads of shit and had to deal with all these traumas, still just had a brilliant life.
Yeah.
Apart from Elizabeth Taylor, young women need to know about Elizabeth Taylor. Like, they need to know that you can live a life that is just much simpler and more mammalian and just full of joy and just like, yeah, I'll have this. I want to do this. I want to go there. I want to do these things.
Yeah.
And she started off as the world's most beautiful woman, which most women don't cope very well with.
No.
Like, if you've been the world's most beautiful woman, your life tends to end in tragedy. But she just had this incredible life, moved into more interesting movies, worked with Richard Burton, did Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, proved she was an incredible actress. Then she got really fat and sad and went into rehab, and the whole world was laughing at her. A complete downside. Like, half of Joan Rivers' routine at that time was just making fat jokes about Elizabeth Taylor. She goes to rehab, and when she comes out, she's like, I've got so many gay male friends who've died of AIDS. I'm going to do something about this. I now know my purpose is to use my fame for a reason. I am going to find a way to tackle AIDS. And she puts out this perfume and uses the profits from that to fund the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation.
From that perfume than
anything
movies,
else.
didn't
Yeah,
she?
totally. And she puts all the profits into that, into finding eventually a cure for AIDS.
Yeah.
And at that point, the Ronald Reagan government still had not acknowledged that AIDS was happening in America. And because she knew Ronald Reagan from when he was in Hollywood at the same time as her, she just basically busts into the White House and goes, "You've got to talk about this. People are dying. Like, you can't have a shame about this anymore. We need to talk about this." And she just went in and bollocked the president and then raised billions of pounds, went on these marches and changed the way that we talk about AIDS forever. So what an incredible life. And then ends it being friends with Michael Jackson.
I know. Madness. Do you see that Mike Nichols was saying at Virginia Woolf and saying a man had fallen asleep and she was doing that speech where she burst out crying and he was snoring and the snoring was so audible. He said, and she just looked up there and went, "Don't fire him, don't fuck," because she knew he was going to. That's what she liked. She was really super sweet. But can you imagine that hearing that man? One of the most iconic things.
Yeah.
She went, "Don't fire him, please, don't fire him."
That's the other thing. People think that she was a total diva and a bitch, and she took care of herself, and she was salty in her language, and she got things done. But she was also just a really, like, when you read the Richard Burton diaries, he's being such a terrible man when he's drunk, and she's always being so nice to him.
Yeah.
She was like a genuinely lovely person. So all my love for Elizabeth Taylor is going into this project. I'm just like, just to tell a story about a woman who went through all this stuff and survived it is amazing.
I love that bit in the diaries where fucking Liz woke me up to say, "Have I taken my sleeping pill?"
My favourite story in there, I think, is they're on one of their many yachts and they've moored up in the Mediterranean and a French Navy vessel moors up beside them in the dock, and there's about 2,000 Frenchmen in there and they're having their day off and they start drinking on the deck. And when they look across and realise that Elizabeth Taylor is on the boat next to them, one by one, all the French sailors take their clothes off and jump into the Mediterranean and start swimming across to her yacht, just screaming, "Liz, Liz!" Imagine being so hot that the French Navy starts swimming towards you just to be near you. Like, just for one day. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's a superpower to be that hot, right?
I think Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and that's the sexiest she's ever been. And then I see her, when she was a little bit bloated. She looked like she was on coke at Studio 54. And I was like, well, because she's a sweater as well. And that makes me feel better because I would be just plump there.
Oh, I love
Rolls
Liz.
of fat, sweating.
One of my friends, Sally, bought me the catalogue of all of Lizzie's clothes that were being sold a couple of years ago. And she went through a 10-year moo phase. So she's getting all the biggest designers in the world, like sort of Givenchy and Dior, all to just build these massive caftans for her. She's like, I could either lose weight or I could just simply get Dior to build me a massive caftan and I'll just float around looking incredible. I think it's such a... That's one of my big aspirations.
That's a flex.
I love Big Liz Taylor, when she's got the big hair and the big caftans and the big tits. Like, mwah.
Perfect. Big diamond, big pearls, big tits, big chin.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. She's my spirit animal. Yes.
How to be hopeful. So this is out in September.
Yes.
So tell me everything.
So the aforementioned nervous breakdown with the menopause, which many women will relate to. And so, I just went on a quest. It was like, the world feels so awful. All we do is talk about how awful everything is and that we don't talk about the future.
Doom scrolling.
We're addicted to social media, the arguments, the falling out, the purity spirals. And whenever you talk to young people particularly, they're just like, well, we don't even believe in the future. Young people are going, I'm not even going to bother having kids because everything's going to be terrible. And as someone who reads a lot of history, I know that this isn't the worst time in history. Like, things were worse during the war. Like, just like, in living memory, this isn't the worst time in history. But because our algorithms tell us that only show us bad news, there's that saying that you hear the axe chopping down the tree, but you can't hear the forest grow. And it's the same with our news.
Oh, God,
if you think about news, you only hear the bad news. If someone blows up a hospital, you hear about it straight away. The same surgeon in that hospital saved 58 lives yesterday. You won't hear anything about it. Good news is usually slow, and we haven't yet found a way to put it on our phones or on our news channels. So I just went on this quest. I just wrote a list of all the things that were making me anxious, and then just spent a year seeing if I could lead a more hopeful life. Took my headphones off on the train and actually listened to what people are saying. I got a litter picker and started picking up litter. I came off social media. I stopped watching national and international news and watched local news.
I'm just getting little, you sending the drone over for your gardener. I was listening to people's conversation.
Because I'm a humanitarian.
Because you're nosy.
Yeah, a nosy humanitarian. A nosy
you're a Karen.
sexual.
Because you're a Karen.
I would only praise them. I need to very much clarify this. I would not be giving notes for bad gardens. I would simply be praising good gardens.
Yes.
In the same way, about 10 years ago, I had these cards made up. I mean, if I saw someone walking down the street in an amazing outfit, I would hand them this card. And it just said, I want you to know I appreciate your look. And I wouldn't say anything. I'd just give them the card and walk away. when you see someone who's made a real effort, it's just like, let them know they look lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was what I would be like with gardens. Like,
Oh.
just pass on a little compliment, make people feel a bit better. That's my vibe.
We've got David Sedaris coming on in a few weeks, and he loves litter picking down the road from where...
The chapter about litter picking starts with me going, David Sedaris does 35,000 steps a day and litter picks all around Sussex.
He does it down the end of my road.
Yeah, and that was my inspiration for doing it. And it does make you feel so much better because you do suddenly, like, to rework a bad old phrase, it makes you feel like you are taking back control. Like, kind of like, you know, you moan about everywhere being horrible. Just take a litter picker out and 20 minutes later, you've made the streets look lovely. You feel fantastic.
I read a brilliant quote the other day, and it says, people will say some lovely things about you. The trouble is you've got to die first. And I feel, isn't that the problem? Just say these things to them now.
I wrote a column about this a couple of weeks ago. I went to see Paul Simon play at the Royal Albert Hall, and and his voice is sort of like, it sounds like a candle now, like the wick is burning out. He's old, he's had a couple of operations and stuff, but those songs are incredible, and he gave it his all. And the way that people, it wasn't just watching a man on stage, everybody there in that room was thanking him. Like, that's what that gig was about, like the standing ovations at the end and applauding. And I do think we should institute a national day where we don't wait for people to die, and while they're still alive, we have a day where we just go, we're going to celebrate Paul McCartney today while he's alive.
Yes, yeah.
But we did it with David Bowie after he died. George Michael,
I know,
after George Michael died,
you realise all that money he was giving to people, a really nice person, and then we were told to think he was a pervert.
Right? Oh no, that was an evil time, wasn't it? Where
Yeah.
being gay was always conflated with being a paedophile, and but as soon as he died, everyone was like, oh, he was like one of the world's loveliest men.
Bit too late now, I'm afraid.
Well, that's why we need to.
So was Paul Simon wearing little short shorts running around the stage?
Little shuttlecock down the front, yeah.
Oh, you should put a bloody ribbon round Paul Simon, legend.
Yes, in a little frame. But yeah, we need to have a day where instead of because you have National Potato Day and stuff, no one celebrates the potato on National Potato Day. Why don't we have National Paul McCartney Day? You know, while they're still alive.
Yeah.
Let's do the obituaries while people are still alive.
I mean, that's one of the reasons I came off Twitter for. What are you doing for National Sandwich Day?
Oh, God, yeah.
What?
Your silence is violence.
Yeah.
Speak out now. Mom, talk to your people, Mom. Yeah. It's like you got to come out on your balcony like Eva Peron, but we give too much of it because it's an attention economy. We give too much attention to people who are doing bad things. Everyone knows if you do something bad, you say something nasty, you're spiteful, you're unpleasant, you will get attention. Yeah. And we need to flip that and start giving attention to the people who are the best.
You should get Trump on your podcast and get him to talk about that reflecting pool. Because that's quite green, isn't it? And
yeah, the only green initiative he's done is massive pool of slime.
Ow.
Doesn't it remind you of when kids are on like school holidays and they just start making slime, just like kind of like in the bath and stuff? But Trump's the president of the United States of America, and he's just spent Independence Day making a big bath of slime, the biggest one in America. It's horrible.
Someone's saying draining the swamp, and he's made a swamp.
I know. Well, it's a massive metaphor, isn't it? It's all a metaphor.
Yes, and do you know what? We haven't mentioned any holidays, but I've absolutely loved the chat. I don't know where you go.
I had so many great holiday stories as well. I'd thought the whole thing out. It was amazing.
I've got to just quickly, because your husband's Greek.
Yes.
Corfu. You love Corfu?
Love Corfu. But we didn't go on holidays for a long time. Do you want a holiday anecdote?
Yes.
Yeah. So for many years, we didn't go on holiday at all. The only holiday that we'd have was going to the Glastonbury Festival. And we've always got a Winnebago backstage because we're terrible people. And one year, one of the people that we went with in the Winnebago was Benedict Cumberbatch. And so what happens at Glastonbury stays at Glastonbury, but the two things that I noticed being at Glastonbury with Benedict Cumberbatch, which was at the height of his Sherlock fame, other than him being an immaculate guest, he brought flowers to the caravan to thank me for hiring the van. He was a perfect gentleman. But I was very worried about him going out and about into the civilian world and being noticed. But he's a really great actor. He just simply dressed up as someone who wasn't Benedict Cumberbatch. And as soon as we stepped out into the main arena, no one for the entire weekend recognised him. And I would have people recognising me and giving their phones to Benedict and going, can you take a picture of Benedict? And I just knew that if they realised who they were giving their phone to, they would freak out. Yeah. No one noticed at all. That's how great he did. He changed his walk, he changed his voice, everything.
Because if he went out in a deer stalker and a massive magnifying glass, I'd say, Benedict, you're asking for this. You're the problem.
Yeah, we don't like to victim blame, but nonetheless, you have set a huge trap. And then at the end of it, I had to leave early, and I got back home and realised that I'd left my passport in the van because you need to take it for ID. And so I had to ring up Benedict, who was in the van, and go, "Can you find my passport? Is it in the van?" And he searched everywhere, and he couldn't find it. And at the end of it, I was just like, "Fucking hell! If Sherlock Holmes can't find my passport, it's definitely not in the van." And I did indeed find it in my rucksack 10 minutes later. But yeah, Sherlock Holmes in the case of the missing passport at Glastonbury. Yeah. When they do the reboot, it'll be back.
That's brilliant. Well, we're about to start our descent. So we've got time for a very, very quick fire round.
Love a quick fire round. I never give a quick answer, so let me talk to your format.
Okay. Oh, here we go then. Okay, beach or pool?
Oh, beach.
Airport pint, airport panic.
Oh, neither. Oh, don't drink at an airport.
I need to push you.
Oh, sorry.
Quick.
Oh, well, I'm not panicked. I'm a middle-aged woman. I never panic. I'm incredibly... I get there 3 hours early.
You are
neither.
panicking now, so why don't you go for airport pint?
A pint of lovely water to hydrate myself, because hydration is key.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Great. Alcar or Alcatraz? Would you rather go on holiday with me or go to prison?
Oh, God, does anybody say anything other than you?
We have sadly had a few Alcatrazes.
Really? Who are the Alcatrazes? Close personal friends?
I'm too soon.
Oh, everyone wants to go on holiday with Alan Carr. Everybody wants to go on holiday with Alan Carr. I refuse to believe anybody demurred from that.
So sweet. Mile High or I'm Too Shy? Are you a member of the Mile High Club? Have you tried?
I've had a wank Mile High just to take the edge off.
Here we go.
Like, yeah.
Just to take the edge.
But everyone has.
We all
surely.
have. Blame it on the turbulence.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like, they
My
won't.
seat's rocking.
Yeah, they won't give you Valium. Well, if you're a woman, you can do it.
This seat's rocking. We haven't taken off.
Yeah, you can do it very.
I have 4.
Yeah. See, this is one of the advantages of being a woman. You can masturbate very quietly and very stealthily,
Yes.
as I know from holidaying in a caravan with many other children. Like I could probably have come twice during this, and you wouldn't have noticed.
Oh my God, you're
I'm
amazing.
Very discreet and very fast.
I spotted once though.
Yeah, really,
Yeah,
really. Just
one,
that moment where was that bit where I was really going on about trees, and I seemed a bit over
When they were
enthusiastic
taking
about
over the North Pole or whatever
yes.
you're on about.
I love the North Pole.
Yeah.
Migrating.
Men call them danger wanks, don't they?
Yes.
You've heard of that, yeah, when you're like, so
Oh, I did
grim.
have a danger van once. I was in the back of a removal van going over
Even
Tower
I'm
Bridge.
blushing. Your removal van?
Yeah, I had to be in the back to stop the furniture moving around, and we were going over Tower Bridge and we got stuck in traffic, and I was like, wouldn't it be amazing to have a wank on Tower Bridge? And it was. The doors were sort of like, had to be sort of like held half open with like a couple of hair bubbles so you could see right out at the doors at the back of the van.
Oh, wow.
Just had a really lovely, like very sort of historically informed wank on Tower Bridge.
If that was a carry-on film, though, it would open, wouldn't it?
Yes. And there'd be like the England football team. And it'd go, oh, go on,
Like when
girl.
the train goes in a tunnel and a pot.
Or it'd open up in the
champagne.
middle. Yeah. Very
And last but not least, tip 'em or fuck 'em. Are you a good tipper, or do you go fuck you? I'll never see you again.
Oh,
You're
I'm
not
the
getting
world's
my
most generous tipper.
I
And
knew-
I really
knew
relate
you
to
would be.
people.
I knew
I'm a
this.
hugger. I ask their life stories.
You're a
I
hugger,
tip
you're a
really
tipper,
heavily.
you're a wanker.
Yes, that's my T-shirt.
Gardener, wanker.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah. I'm a very sexual humanitarian. Yeah.
What? We should do a wanking podcast.
We should.
Me and you. And we invite people around to tell us where have they wanked.
Yes. Can you guess? Would we have one of those UV cameras so you can see like kind of like evidence and stuff afterwards?
No, you've gone too far.
Oh no, I had the whole
Get
format
off
in my
my
head.
plane.
I had the whole format in my
This is
head.
filth.
People put little flag where they think we've wanked, and then you go around with the UV camera and do the reveal, and you
I'm
get
backing
points.
off. Cut this bit out.
Babe, formats are gold. Monkey tennis, come on.
Hello, we've got Benedict Cumberbatch when he wanked. No, let's not go there. Disgusting. Right, we're going now. Bye. Thank you so much.
Are we disembarking now? Is this
You're
it?
yes.
Yes, I'm disembarked.
And collect
I'm
your
being thrown
emotional
off.
baggage from the
Okay.
carousel. Stop masturbating. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed your flight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't ever forget, like